What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. All right, moving on to Cavs Magic before we get out of here for the night. Magic got off to a rough start in this one. They were clanging jumpers right and left, and the Cavs went up 10-3. Franz Wagner ended up finally getting the lid off the rim with a corner three out of the left corner. And from there, the Magic just basically took over. Jalen Suggs immediately hits a three. And it was just like they just got their confidence and got going from there. On offense, the story of this game and this entire matchup really, and it's something that the Magic have been doing all season, but Paolo's basically your point guard, right? And they're just running a lot of these like ghost screens with Jalen Suggs as man. And, you know, obviously there's like a hedge and recover element to that where Jalen Suggs was able to attack closeouts where, like, again, we talked about this with Grayson Allen and the Suns in the Timberwolves series, but Suggs sets a screen, he slips out to the top of the key, Paolo throws it back to him. The hedger is like sprinting back to him. He's hitting threes and driving out of that. He was getting really good rim pressure out of that. Also a really good transition game from Jalen Suggs, just flying down the lane. Had a big dunk on a spot up at the top of the key when I think it was Darius Garland kind of lost sight of him off the ball. But when they were able to switch that, when Jalen got a really good screen and they were able to get a switch, one of the things that I appreciated was like early in the game, Paolo was settling for further away jump shots. And obviously he's at this phase in his career, a little bit of an inconsistent jump shooter, but he's actually like pretty damn good when he gets closer to the basket, when he's in that 7 to 15 foot range. And he finally started getting some better matchups in those go screens, and he was getting downhill. Franz was doing this too, but getting closer to the rim and taking those short range jump shots. Like too often we break down shot making into like three levels, right? It's 3-level scoring. It's the rim, it's the 3-point line, it's the mid range, right? But I actually look at it more like 4 levels. It's like the rim, the 3-point line, long twos, which to me are an inefficient shot that you should only take when you have to. But then there's like short twos. These are shots that are like inside of the foul line, all around the basket, right? Paolo hit 7 of those tonight. He hit 7 jump shots in that like 7 to 15 foot range. Those are a lot easier. Those, like, again, when I talk about pull-up jump shooting, it's a lot about lift. It's a lot about getting separation and getting lift, right? And so when you're doing that further away from the basket, they just turn into really difficult shots to make. It's kind of like the James Harden story. His entire career is built on this like step back three that he can hit in the regular season. Then he gets to the postseason and it's like a super inconsistent shot for him. Why? Because in a super physical and intense playoff game, shooting a step back jump shot from 25 feet 17 times, like however many times he takes it in a game is just really, really difficult, right? It's a fatiguing shot. But like no matter how tired you are, if you get closer to the basket, you don't need as much lift to get a decent look there. It's kind of been what Kawhi Leonard has been so efficient with in his career. He's not hitting 19 footers every single time. He's hitting 13 footers every single time. And that, just imagine a free throw. It's literally inside the free throw line. And you can imagine how much that kind of makes things easier. And Paolo was just absolutely dominant in this game. And I think that to me is where Paolo's ceiling lies. His ceiling lies is basically like the forward version of Jokic in the sense that like he needs to bully his way in close to the rim and just get deadly with those like short range over the top shots. Turnaround jumpers over both shoulders, a hook shot over his left shoulder. Franz kind of went to one of these today where it's like almost like a Euro step into like a lean back, one leg fadeaway, but not from far, like from 5 feet from the rim. Like that is an area where you can get really accurate with your shot making. And by the way, don't tell me that doesn't matter. That's the shot that makes Jokic the best player in the world. Like Jokic's ability to hit that shot is what has separated him. And Paolo is a supremely gifted forward. He is bigger than the vast majority of the players that play his position around the league, and that's where his advantage is. But he got going with those short-range jumpers, and he started hitting threes. He ended up hitting 4 of them in this game. Like I mentioned before, Jalen Suggs, 9 for 11 with 24 points. A lot of attacking off of those go screen actions. I think Cole Anthony had a really good second quarter shift. Markelle Fultz did some nice work off the bench as well. Again, that's to be expected. You go on the road, your role players can struggle. You come home, your role players can play better. But as a team, they just had a much better jump shooting night. This is a bottom 10 jump shooting team. They're tied for 23rd in the NBA in jump shot efficiency during the regular season. But they got 1.22 points per jump shot tonight. Completely flipped the script, hit a bunch of shots, blew them out, right? Not even close. On defense, just a swarming effort from everybody. More switching. Cleveland went out of their way to kind of try to target Paolo. And early in the series, if you remember, like Paolo and Franz, when they were getting targeted in ball screens, they were almost like, or I shouldn't say Paolo and Franz, but Paolo and Jonathan Isaac early in the series were almost like defending those ball screens, almost like in a drop coverage. And I mean, those are guys that just don't have a ton of experience guarding like that. And so I was advocating early in the series for more switching, and they've been doing more switching as the series progresses, really since the second half of game one. But Cleveland was going out of their way to try to attack Paolo, and he just held up pretty damn well. I committed a couple fouls where he was just getting a little handsy, but for the most part, slid his feet, was contesting shots, and was doing a good job. This series to me feels like a series where the home team is going to win out. Obviously, if Cleveland can steal one in Orlando, it'll be over quicker. If they steal game 4, then this thing's over in 5. I don't think Orlando's going to win in Cleveland at all, but I do think Orlando has a good chance to win all their home games. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. This is the buzzsaw, right? But that buzzsaw is exacerbated by the athleticism. The Lakers just don't have the athletes to be a buzzsaw for Denver, right? But Orlando sure as hell does to Cleveland. They are the bigger, more athletic team, right? They out-rebounded Cleveland 51-32. They were 21-11 in fast break points, 14-5 in offensive rebounds. That is a complete and total physical dominance of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So again, this is where home court advantage matters. I wouldn't be concerned if I was a Cavs fan, because I literally don't think Orlando can beat Cleveland in Cleveland. But this could be a long series just based on how difficult it is to match Orlando's physicality when they're at home. All right, guys, that is all I have for tonight. As always, I sincerely appreciate you guys for supporting me and supporting the show. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We have Jovan Buha coming on the show for what's basically going to be a Lakers eulogy. So we're recording tomorrow morning, so that'll be up in the early afternoon time tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're taking some time off. There's a little bit of a personal matter that I have to attend to, so we're taking the night off. And then we're going to be back on Saturday morning, breaking the Friday night games down, and then we'll be back again on Saturday night, breaking down the night games. I appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow.